Jussie Smollett, the Hollywood actor and the notable celebrity who has been embroiled in a hot mess as of late regarding allegations of a hate crime that he made that have proven to be not so genuine, or at least have been asserted to have not been so genuine. And I'm pretty sure you've heard that he had, the Chicago has decided to drop all charges against Jussie Smollett, which was pretty much a surprise to everyone except James Woods. For some reason, James Woods, he knew this was going to happen. Some reason he just knew. He's like, yeah, you know, him and Dark Mice or Mark Dice, they all knew, because that's what they've been tweeting and posting, is how they just knew this was going to happen. Obviously, because Jussie Smollett's black, and we know how black people get the benefit of the doubt all the time with our justice system. Hey, all the time, black people just get off all the time. So anyway, the prosecutor who dropped Jussie Smollett's charges says he believes the actor lied to the police. Let's just admit, for the rest of us, we were shocked that this went nowhere, that there was nothing being handed down in the way of charges for Jussie Smollett. Everything I'm about to read in this article, except for maybe the comments made by the prosecutor, will be assertions based on opinions. Because, well, once you throw a case out, it's sealed. It's as if this case, the charges, the incident never occurred. When you seal a case, that's it. But in the interest of us trying to wrap our heads around what just happened, how did Jussie Smollett, who apparently, fabricated a hate crime, who apparently made this erroneous police report, allegedly used friends to stand in as MAGA hat wearing racists and bigots or whatever, what have you, and assaulters. How did this case get thrown out? So let's go. So the prosecutor who dropped the charges against Jussie Smollett said he still believes the attacker lied to the police about the racist and homophobic attack he allegedly staged in Chicago in January. In a surprise hearing Tuesday, Joe Maggots, the first assistant state's attorney in Cook County, announced he decided to drop the charges against Smollett. The stunning reversal, 18 days after a grand jury indicted the Empire actor, on felony disorderly conduct, outraged the Chicago mayor and the police department. We got to stop there, because the level of shock was physically, like you could feel it. Like someone walked over your grave. It was everywhere. People were really up in arms. But none more surprised, obviously, than Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Well, there was one person more surprised. It was me, because I was surprised that Rahm Emanuel is still the mayor of Chicago. How could a mayor who oversaw one of the vastest, most egregious cover-ups in police history, Chicago police history, at least in its current iteration, be so shocked about a case not going the way he thought it would go? About a case, the way Rahm Emanuel talked, you would believe that he slept through Laquan McDonald's case under his watch, where his police chief was fired, which he covered up in order to secure an election. Yeah, I'm just shocked that Rahm Emanuel is still the mayor. So he was upset, obviously, because we know how Rahm Emanuel likes to get to the bottom of things and set things straight. The decision to drop the charges does not mean the actor was innocent or any new evidence was presented. Maggots told CNN affiliate WJS, "We believe that he did what he was charged with doing. This was not an exoneration. To say he was exonerated by us or anyone else is not true." He said charges are dropped in thousands of cases, but Smollett's case is getting scrutinized because he is a celebrity. He goes on to say there are many other cases, over 5,700, that have gotten some type of alternative or deferred type of prosecution involving a dismissal at the end of the case. Yeah, so you're the prosecutor of the case. Could you explain to us why the case was kicked? Could it be the celebrity of Jussie Smollett is what prompted this case being kicked? I mean, $10,000 worth of bond money has been forfeited to Chicago, but that wouldn't even cover the cost of Rahm Emanuel getting out of bed in the morning. It definitely does not cover the cost of investigators working tirelessly to try to find out if there was a hate crime that took place with a celebrity in Chicago. So that $10,000 means nothing. And according to my information, There was also this thing about Jussie Smollett did some community activist work at Jesse Jackson's office, making flyers or mailing flyers or something. And I'd just like to know, what kind of PR catastrophe are you trying to create? Is it your job to make people like Mark Dice and James Woods and Tucker Carlson heads explode? I'm just wondering, is that what this is all about? The story of what happened to Smollett on that chilly night on January 29 has transfixed much of the nation, as we all know, for nearly 2 months. Smollett told police that 2 men targeted him about 2 a.m., tied a rope around his neck and poured a chemical substance on him. Now, I saw a clip of Smollett responding, saying that, you know, he would never do such a thing. He did not fabricate this story, that his story is accurate. If one morsel, I think he used it. Don't quote me. It's pretty close to what he said. He said, if one morsel, if one tiny bit of what they're alleging is true, then he could never hold his head up and that he would not be his mother's child. Well, according to the prosecutor, I don't know who his mother is. He can't have the same mother. He said he wouldn't be his mother's child, so obviously he's an orphan. Because according to the prosecutor, they said he lied. They're saying that you lied, Jussie Smollett. Look for this story to become a new movie put out by Lionsgate in the near future. I'm just joking, but I'm telling you this. I mean, he's going to be able to profit off of this case. It was really cold, and it was 2 a.m., and Jussie Smollett, before this happened, was not that well known. Not everybody watches Empire. And he's definitely not so well known that you'd see him across the street and you'd be like, hey, that's Jussie Smollett. At least not the people that watch, you know, people who are MAGA supporters. Mike Pence wouldn't know who Jussie Smollett was. I never bought into the story, but I did say, if the story is true, find out who did it. That's all I've ever said about it, other than saying, well, this looks bad. My problem with this story is not that Jussie Smollett gets away. Your problem with the story should not be that either. And the reason why I say that is because we have countless. If I started pulling up, which I was going to do, I was going to pull up all the cases of false police reports that are reported. I was going to pull them all up. And then wait for Tucker Carlson and everyone else to his explode. But I realized that his would not explode because it's not advantageous for the his to explode on those cases like the barbecue Becky's and sleeping while black or eating while black or walking down the street while black or cutting your lawn while black or what. Did you see the guy cleaning up his own yard and the cops? Someone called like, what is the person who rented the Airbnb and the black woman went into the Airbnb and someone saw him, so they called the police and said, oh my God, it's black people. They have to break in. Like, these are false reports too. Nothing was being stolen. That's a false report. So we get false reports all the time. Is it fishy that Jussie Smollett gets away with it? Maybe it is fishy. Yeah, I think it is fishy. But like I said, that's not my problem. That's not what I'm most upset about. What I'm upset about is the people who are saying, see, it's not about race. Race don't matter. It's all about money. And those people have, I don't know where their memories have gone. Ask Bill Cosby, is it all about money? I don't know, just ask him. Oh, that's right, you can't. You can't call him, he'd have to call you because he's in jail. With all his money, he's in jail. I've covered cases, of course, I've covered cases where money, you know, is the thing that works for you. Our system is jacked up. It is unfair. But it's unfair in lots of ways. It's unfair. It's more unfair to men than it is to women. It's more unfair to black men than it is to white men. It just is. But yes, it is also unfair to poor people as opposed to rich people. In fact, one thing that you will not find is a rich person on death row, which is why I can't support the death penalty, because I know how it's meted out. The folks who are just really quickly to say, see, this is why we need to just focus on class. You don't get to just erase data because you don't want to deal with the fact that black people do have it better in a lot of instances when it comes to our justice system. We just do. And what tends to happen is black people are typically black and poor. And that goes back to that reparations thing that nobody wants to talk about. Why is that? Black people tend to be poor. You either believe it is a flaw in black people as a whole, which leads us to genetics and eugenics, right? So either you're one of those racist people or you accept that there are causes for this, structural causes that are systemic. Back to this issue. Jussie Smollett got away with it. He did get away with it. I'm not happy he got away with it. In fact, I think it's problematic that he gets to throw $10,000 in a bond away and do a couple of hours in Jesse Jackson's coalition or Rainbow Coalition office. I don't think that's fair. But I don't think it's fair that John Crawford had his brains blown out because somebody in Walmart saw him holding a toy gun or a gun that they sold at Walmart that he was looking at. I don't think that's fair either. I don't think it's fair that a mom can't walk with her son that's of a lighter complexion and people call the police thinking that she's stealing the child or kidnapping the child. I don't think that's fair. There's a lot of things that aren't fair. People are real selective about what they think is unfair. I thought it was unfair when the influenza case happened and the rich white kid who killed 4 people, paralyzed another person, driving drunk in his pickup truck. But because he was rich, he got probation. He only got time because he ran away from the probation. He did not follow the conditions of his probation. I thought that was wrong too. And I covered it as such. So just to put a bow on the Jussie Smollett case, guys, yes, Jussie Smollett probably deserves more justice, Jussie, than he received. The Chicago Police Department, though, should be quiet. The Chicago Police Department has a horrible track record of meting out such justice. They have a horrible track record of keeping their own officers in order. But I guess when you are on the wrong side of bad publicity so often, they need to jump out and pound their chest. Ooh, we are the victim. That's it for Jussie Smollett case. Guys, send your hate mail to Rahm Emanuel. Please stop tagging me in tweets telling me, see, we all the same. We just all, if you broke, we all treated the same. No, they're not afraid of you like they're afraid of me. It's different. You know that. But I want to team up with you and fight them, though. So let's team up and fight them on both fronts. Let's team up and fight them on race, and let's team up and fight them on class. Let's team up on both those things. It's called intersectionality, and it does exist.